everyone, it's Ellen. This is Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour. It's going to be maximum, it's going to be cross stitch, but it will not be an hour. Last week we got dangerously close to being an hour, but we'll have none of that nonsense this week. Anyway, so glad to be back. Nice to see you. Nice to be putting up a video to connect with my Stitchy tribe. I know I have a few new subscribers who have joined in the last couple of weeks, so a special welcome to you. I think you may have been sent here from Pam and Steph or Caroline from Off the Grid. So thank you and welcome, and I hope that you stick around. And to the rest of you, whatever, I love you. That hasn't changed. So yeah, thanks for liking and subscribing and commenting and just being generally fantastic. So what's been going on? I feel like it hasn't actually been that long since I did a video, although I guess it's been almost 2 weeks. I have to do it today because my dog's gonna be making some noise, so I apologize. Here he comes now. Here comes Stinky. Hi, Stinky. Yes, I'm talking to you. Do you wanna see Sam? I'll show you Sam. Hey, Sam. Look at the ladies and gentlemen. Sam. Oh, and there's Wayne. Whoa, did you get sick there? That is not my intent. Will that hold? I hope so. Anyway, no, you can't chew on that, Wayne. I can't remember what I was saying. Anyway, I feel like it's been not very long, but I have to record today because Wednesday I am gone for 2 weeks on the road. And if I don't do it now, it'll be a month, and then the video will be too long because I would have too much awesomeness to share with you. So, what's been going on? Not much, just enjoying a little downtime before we fire up again, and doing a lot of stitching, and I've seen some friends, and done a lot of nothing. Yeah, just a lot of, oh, here comes my dog walker. Gotta stop because this is embarrassing. Okay, Sam's gone. Now I can do my embarrassing thing again. I think I just told you what was going on. Basically nothing, just stitching and waiting to go on tour again. Let me put my glasses on now so I can read my little notes. Got my hair cut and colored. I look a little bit, and this, I can't help it, doesn't matter what haircut I get, I look like Garth from Wayne's World. Right? Am I right? So yeah, okay, what I want to start with is the giveaways, because there were 5 of them, and I want to just get that happening because those of you who don't want to see the rest of it are just here for the giveaways, then you can scoot on and do your thing. I already did the random comment generator thing, and I didn't want to make a video of it because it just would have added way too much to the video, so you're going to have to trust me. So the winner of the New Year pattern, a new year, there were 115 entries, and Mandy Gershmel has won that. Mandy, congratulations. The Daisy chart from Avaris. There were 120 entries for that, and Jan Moore, you have won that, so congratulations, Jan. Which is Dead and Breakfast. There were 78 entries for that, and Vicky King, you have won that. The Liberty pattern, Sweet Land of Liberty. There were 82 entries, and Christy Martin, you have won that one. And the Charm pack of the Seaside Charms, there were 81 entries for that, and Farm Boys Love, you have won that. So, kiddos, thanks for entering, and just send me your mailing addresses to maximumcrossstitch@gmail.com, or you can go to my Instagram site where I am, elpooishere, and you can direct message me and give me your mailing details there. I will hold these for one session, 1 2-week length until my next Flosstube, and then I will redraw for them. So get those addresses to me. Toot sweet. And a special thanks again to the fine folks at Roveris for providing these nice charts and doo-doos for a giveaway. That was very kind and generous of you, and they're fantastic charts. They are on Etsy, and I've looked at their site, and they have lots of really cool little patterns. So if you're scrolling through Etsy, go check out Roveris and see what they've got in store. All right, next. Oh, apology time.
I'm super sorry. I totally suck.
I really wanted Arbor Day to be in September because that's when I think I'll be able to actually do the End of Forest Screw Sal. I had said in my last episode that Arbor Day is in September, and that's when I'm going to start the End of Forest Screw Sal with 2 Martini Stitcher and Stitch in Bluegrass. There's a Sal for that, but it's April. It's April 24th. I'll be in Austin, Texas, and will not be taking all the necessary items to do that very large project with me when I'm on tour. So I may be a little bit behind in starting that stitch along. So sorry, Arbor Day fans. I now know that Arbor Day in the United States is in April, and I apologize. All right, how about some works in progress? Let's get to some stitching. All right, so if you follow me on Instagram, and you should because everything I post is super interesting. If you like pictures of cats, you're gonna like my Instagram feed. If you are on my Instagram, then you know that I'm so close to finishing this that I actually called it a finish. His Eyes and the Sparrow by Beth Twist at Heartstring Samplery. I ran out of the floss I needed to finish the text. So I basically have about a half hour of stitching left. I've got the floss on order from Kitten Stitcher. It is somewhere in Miami right now, so hopefully it'll be here in a week or 10 days or so, and I can finish this. This will be the last time I show it. The next time you see it, it will be framed, because I'm tired of dragging this thing out. So let's do this. Back up. Yeah, I know it's wrinkled, but just think of how gorgeous it'll look when it's all ironed and framed and perfect. So you can see it now in its kind of imperfection. The quote that I've used is, "You can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals." And that's true. A person who is cruel to animals is gonna be cruel to people. My 2 cents. Yeah, so it's obviously, it's beautiful. I'm so glad that I have done this. I did it in under 3 months, which I know, fantastic. But let me tell you, people tell me that I'm a fast stitcher, and I am, but you also have to remember that that's all I do. I stitch like it's my job. I stitch like it's my job that I really like, and that I work 12 hours a day. Sometimes I stitch for 12 hours a day. It's not good for my body. It's not good for my health, but it's good for my mind. All right, so that's that. Next we have Elizabeth by Carriage House Saplings. I've made some good progress on this one. Is this it here? Yes. I have got this much done. Can you see? So I got most of the bird cage done, a bird and a half done, all the leaves done on that tree. And I'm loving the way it's turning out, and I'm starting to use my own colors. I used my own colors for this lower bird here, and I really like it. I'm going to change the color of the dress, as I've mentioned before, but I'm really liking stitching on this one. It was languishing for a little while, but I'm glad that I have fallen back in love with her because she's fantastic. Next, we have the Spotted Pigs Pin Keep by Stacey Nash. Darn adorable. And I made good progress on this too. It's interesting that you can make progress on other pieces when you're not so focused on one. So here it is. I've got almost all the pigs done. I've got 1 3/4 left to do. I'm finished the floral border and the little tree thing. I finished that. I'd say like another, you know, evening and a bit of stitching, and I will be done this bad boy. I'm gonna make it into a pillow. I can't see why this is a pin keep because it's pretty big, but I think it'll make a really cute little pillow, or maybe even like a part of a tote bag or something, if I can find a fabric that goes with murky that's sort of as nice and grotty as murky is. God, I love murky. Never thought I would be a murky lover, but I'm a murky lover. Next, we have descending order. No, we have this one. This is a freebie from Kitten Stitcher. Marjorie Massey, French designer. Quickly, that's what it looks like because it's a freebie and the chart is the picture. Kitten Stitcher sticks some of these freebies in with her orders because she's fan-freaking-tastic. And this is where I am so far. Got the butterfly almost done. Got the alphabet done. I've made some mistakes on it, but it's okay, right? It's okay. We're all human here. Well, some of us. I know some of you are robots. Gonna overtake the world. Robots are coming. Next, I have Descending Order by Long Dog Samplers. It's great. I got this for Christmas for my mom. And this is how far I am. I had a very sad day on the weekend. I had the whole section about half done and I had to rip it all out. Frog, frog, frog. It's very sad. But I think I've got it. I haven't got it back to where it was yet, but I'm getting there. So here's where I am. Haven't got any further on the border. I felt like putting in some design. But this is a really fun one to stitch on because there's a lot of repeats. And when there's repeats, you can be a little dozy, although I shouldn't be so dozy because that's why I had to frog everything out. I had one new start, carrot juice. Honk. This is a tea cozy or something that my grandmother made. Probably in the 40s, maybe 50s. Get it close. It's not really cross stitched because the stitching goes up and down instead of, and it's on such a fine linen that it's like 1/4 or 3/4. Very dense looking stitches, but I really think it's pretty. I've always loved it. I've never used it as a tea cozy. I just sort of had it lying on a table, but I thought, hey, I'm gonna reproduce that. I'm going to stitch that and make it into a cross stitch. So I've done that and I put a border on it. And what I've got so far is not very exciting, but there it is. Got the border started. It's gonna be small. I'm doing it 1/1. I believe this is on 25 count Lugana. It might be 32 count. I don't know. I don't know. Hang on, just hang on. I think it might be 32. It doesn't matter. So, because you can't really tell what it's gonna be anyway. But yeah, so I thought that I would just see if I could reproduce that and make a little, I don't know, a little picture or something. My grandmother was quite the needlewoman. She did a lot of lace, crocheted lace tablecloths and embroidery and hardanger. Still have a lot of that stuff. Maybe I'll drag it out sometime and share some of it with you because she's got a lot of it, because that's what ladies did back in the day. So those are my works in progress. Yeah, I've got a lot done and I'm liking having, you know, more than a couple things to choose from. I use a mini decision wheel and that tells me what I'm gonna work on for the evening, and sometimes I agree with it and sometimes I don't, but mostly I follow it. It seems to be evening things out well enough that I'm getting stitches into a little bit of everything. Do you like this painting? I got this from my favorite artist, Charlie Waters. Check out her stuff. It's amazing. Isn't it beautiful? It's a road in Alberta. But this could be a road anywhere in the West. I love her stuff. And that's one of hers too. Charlie Waters, love her. All right, wife of the week. Okay, my wife of the week. I don't know why it's taken me this long to get married to this particular floss tuber. I think I've been saving her. Because well, let's admit it. We're all special, right? all of my wives are amazing. Anyone who puts himself out there on Flosstube, who's willing to take a risk like that, is a superhuman, and I tip my hat to them. But this particular Flosstuber, and you all know her and love her, she does a little bit more than just putting out Flosstubes. She's kind of she's the Denver. She's a hub. She's the Denver of cross stitch for me. All cross stitch flows through her and out to the world. I am talking, of course, about Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy. She is so kind and thoughtful, generous with her time and money. Because face it, she's putting her own money into mailing out all those prizes and giveaways and auction items. Like she's spending coin on her own Flosstube. She puts a lot of effort into it. She's a great resource for stitchers. She's so patient, and I know she has time for everyone. Like she's always got a minute for anyone who's got a question. She's very approachable, and I respect her a great deal. She's kind of unstoppable. If I'm not old enough to be her mom. I'm old enough to be her mom. But if I had a daughter, I'd want it to be Michelle Bendy Stitchy. She is a social justice advocate. When she finds a cause, she hangs on to it like a freaking pit bull and doesn't let go until her goals are reached. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. And I know that you all share that. I'm a little bit in awe of her. She's the queen of causes. So I would like to raise a toast to my new wife, Michelle Bendy Stitchy. Love her. Yes. Someone was asking, a few people have actually asked me if you have to be a Flosstuber to be a wife of the week. And yes, you do have to be a Flosstuber to be a wife of the week. That's how I get to know you. I'm not going to marry someone who I don't feel like I know. I really have to have that heart connection, you know? However, I'm not opposed to having a little bit on the side. Trish from Threads Entwined is one of my, you know, extras, my little bit of spice on the side. She's not a Flosstuber, but she's still a wife. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Trish? Yeah, so if you want to be my wife, you got to have a Flosstube. So pitter patter, get at her, get out there. Crap, that's cool. Crap, that's cool. The Patreon application, website, where you can go and sign up and you can support artists, causes, makers, writers, that kind of thing. You know what Patreon is. I'm a big fan of it. Back in the olden days, you know, in the 1700s, say, artists were at the whim of patrons, rich people, kings, gentry, who would be patrons of artists, and they would, you know, put them up and you know, invite them to salons, and it was sort of a point of honor. It was an honor to be a patron of someone who was doing good artistic work, good creative works. That's why a lot of poems and musical pieces would have been dedicated to rich people and kings and stuff, because those people are actually putting food on their plates. So I think that to a lesser extent, I'm not interested in paying the way for, you know, paying the rent for anybody at this point, because gotta pay for kibble and bits and bits. But I do believe that there is something of value in supporting people who you believe in what they're doing. As I said last week, I'm a patron of the Sleep With Me podcast, the podcast that I listen to when I go to sleep. It's so boring that it puts me to sleep, and it really helps me. It's free. It's a free podcast, but I get a good value out of it. So I give them like 10 bucks a month. It's no big deal. But I feel like I'm helping to support something that I get value from. I recently became a patron for Michelle Bendy. I could watch her stuff for free, and I have for years. But I decided, you know, I could throw a little bit of money your way. If I was in Eugene and I met her once a month, would I buy her coffee and a donut? I'd buy her coffee and 2 donuts. So I really think that it's a great way to support makers and creators that you admire. And the thing is, you don't have to sign on forever. You know, if I find that I'm not using the sleep podcast 6 months from now, I can stop. It's not a, you know, a long-term commitment. But I think it's important to support people who are doing this stuff for free because, you know, 5, 10, 20 bucks a month. Some of us can't do it, and I get it, and I'm not out here to shame anybody who is in no position to be throwing money at other people. I get it. But if you have, you know, 10 bucks sitting around that you would have bought a coffee and a donut for somebody, maybe send it to someone who's given out content for free. I think it's a good thing. All right, so that's crap that's cool. Giving money to people. Yes. All right, next. Oh. All right, I got some haul. I have an order from 123 that has been sitting in Los Angeles for 10 days. So it's 10 days overdue, and it's got a lot. It's mostly floss, but I ordered a whole bunch of reds because I want to start my Gloria sampler. It's a red sampler, and I need reds to pick from. I need to choose a red, and it's got all the red flosses that I want. So I'm sitting here waiting for it. I did send them an email, but haven't heard back yet. Surprise, surprise. So I got some stuff anyway because I am a spendthrift. The first thing I got is, like everybody and their dog, I've been getting the charity pieces, and I got the Michelle Bendy Stitchy acceptance chart, and she's selling that. She's selling that on her website. I'll put the link below. I think I know how to do it now, so I'm going to put the link where you can get this cool little acceptance chart. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding that something is what it is, and there's got to be a way through it. Determination, right? I'll put the link below where you can get that. And it's to benefit Parkinson's, the Michael J. Fox Parkinson's Foundation. I got another, not freebie, this one. It's one of the Australia ones. And oh, I can't remember where it was. If it's the one in Australia. And it doesn't say on here. I'll put it right here, and I'll link it in the box below. But it's cute. It's a cute little koala guy. Oh, I shouldn't have showed it that closely because it's basically just the chart as the pattern. It's cute, and it cost me $2, and happy to throw money their way. I also got this Hands Across the Sea chart. What is it? The Jane Marshall, 1857. This one is to the 2 fire brigades in Australia. And this is actually a nice introduction to Hands Across the Sea too, because it's small, and this one might be a good one to travel with. And you know, I haven't done a Hands Across the Sea yet, so I gotta pitter patter get at her. I got a bunch of linen that I've never seen before or never tried before. This is R&R Fog Lifter, 36 count. I don't even know if it's worth it to show because the lighting in here, but it's kind of a gray with a hint of khaki in it. Love it, and it's a huge piece, so I'm loving that. And I got this, which is Legacy Linen Devonshire Cream. Now this is a little bit more yellow than I had thought it was gonna be. And I don't think I'd want to stitch like a sampler on something that's sort of this yellow. It's quite a sunny yellow. It's still pale, but it's brighter than I thought it was going to be. And I'm thinking maybe I'll do one of the Lindy Stitches birds pieces on this because it's got sort of a springtime feel to it. Hey, Stephanie, what do you think about that? You busy with market? Doing stuff for market? Get the new releases ready for the people? Is that what you're doing? All right, next, Lois Minshaw. Of course, I saw this on damn Brenda and the Cereal Starter. Brenda and Laura, killing me, killing my wallet. This is beautiful. Don't know how I feel about the pattern. It's really small and not very clear, to be honest. It's basically just a photocopy, a color photocopy of something. And I usually get my charts enlarged when I make working copies. But I don't know if I'll be able to do that with this because it's not very clear. And there's some weird notations on it. I'll be able to do it, but I'm not excited about it because of the quality of the chart. So yeah, it's basically just like, it's just a photocopy. So a little disappointed in that, but still a beautiful chart. A mother's love, how dear the name. Very nice. Okay, next, GGR Collection Privée, a Welsh sampler. It's a Welsh sampler, you know, from Welshland. Get of the plastic. Do you like that? Do you like that sound? Mary Griffiths. And guess where I saw this? Ugh. Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Starter had it, and then Laura bought it, and so I thought, oh, they have it, I guess I have to have it. Oh, isn't it beautiful? Those birds and the rodents. Who doesn't want to do something with a rodent in it, right? I think it's a rodent. Oh, there's two rodents. The rat sampler. And this little guy, what is that? There's one of these in Beth Twist. It looks in his eyes in the sparrow. It looks like this too. Weird deformed dog. I'm here for it. I love a weird deformed dog. Yeah, so excited about that. No immediate plans, just wanted to have it in my possession. I got this Prairie Schooler Santa Rides. It was everywhere in December. But I just can't get over this Santa in the blue. I'm not a Christmas stitcher. I'm not a holiday stitcher. Hang on, water. I'm not a holiday stitcher, but the colors in this Santa, in the balloon, and on the horses too, like, I love it. And I got the linen too, but I think it might be too green. I think it's Legacy or Wren, I'm not sure. Let's look, shall we? Because that's fascinating for you. You're just stitching, you don't mind. You might even be picking your nose. No judge. Wren, yes, Wren. 36 count. I'm trying 36 count and I've ordered a ton of it. So that's what I've got for the Santa Rides. I think it might be a little yellow, but I've got it if I need it in my stash. And I've got all the threads for it because good intentions. And then lastly, yes, this was lastly. This one has been on my radar forever. Oh no, I've got a couple. It was from Kitten Stitcher, so she sent in a freebie. Moon Witch by the Primitive Needle. Cute. Don't know if I'm going to stitch it immediately because, as I say, I'm not a holiday stitcher. I got a couple pieces of fabric. This one is 36 count light hazelnut. This is for the Isabel Uffendell. I special ordered that. And this I got Graham Cracker Fabrics. I think it's her son who does it. And this one is called Pie Crust. And look at it. Look at it. It's got all these neat little dots like it was near where a pen exploded. But a long time, like an antique pen, so it's classy. Not like a ballpoint or something like that. It's not some low-life Bic pen, a real fancy pen. So for the graham cracker fabric, I thought that I would use this. Isn't this beautiful? Quaker Street by Marjorie Massey. This is another one that might be good to take on the road because it's all one color. But man, there's a lot of stitches in there. Holy doodle. I love it. And where do you think I saw this? Where do you think I first saw this? Brenda and the Cereal Starter. They are bad. I love them so much. I'm gonna go on holiday with them. I don't think Brenda would like me very much though. Laura likes me. I think Brenda would find me tiresome. You like me, Brenda? I like you. Last, I got the Cape Cod Keeps. Why? Because of the whale. And if you saw my last episode, you know there's a joke about whales. Mom, see the whale? So that's it for haul. Yeah. And what else have I got? Dudes, that's it. My plans, I guess, is where I go next. I'm just gonna continue stitching on the things that I've been stitching on. As I say, I'm heading out in a couple of days for 2 weeks of touring, and I can't get too much done, but it's just around where I live, you know, within 200-300 miles of where I live. So I will be able to come home between a few of the shows. So it's not super intense, but yeah, on the days that I'm out, I don't get much stitching done. Tomorrow, my friend Ryan is coming over and we're going to have a little crafternoon. I'm so delighted because Ryan has fallen down the cross stitch rabbit hole with me. And it's so nice to have a good friend to suffer with me instead of here silently with you. Ryan is, as I think I've mentioned before, he's very crafty, he's very creative. He has a degree, a fashion degree from Montreal. You know, he can make wedding dresses. So now he's getting into cross stitch. I think of him as kind of Canada's answer to Ginger Gerald. And I'm hoping one day that he'll join me here on Flosstube and we can hang out. I've also been thinking about maybe doing a stitch with me. I don't really have a way to hold the camera onto the stitching, so it might just be me sitting here stitching and talking to you, which is basically just a floss tube with me talking. So I don't know how interesting that would be for people, but it might be a way that I can do floss tubes while I'm on the road, or not. I don't know. What do you think? Should I do stitch with me? Is it too much? It might be too much. You may also have noticed that I have monetized my channel. That is just to cover shipping of giveaways. I talked to a Flosstuber friend of mine about how that works, and she says, you know, the money is not, no one's getting rich doing Flosstube, right? Maybe I should do makeup tutorials or porn. So yes, I've monetized. I'm hoping to just cover my postage for giveaways. That being said, I don't have a giveaway for this week. Dang. I will have one for next time though, because I want to start doing that every week. I want that, or every episode, I want that to be something that's consistent. But I dropped the ball this time, so I will find something for my stash next time, or I will order something specific. Until then, well, first things first, can we just talk about my sweater? It's sparkly, it's cats, and they have googly eyes. Are you jealous? My husband got it for me because he knows me. Now I'm done. Okay, so until I see you, happy stitching. I hope you're all healthy and enjoying your new year and doing things you love. Big hugs to our stitchy friends who are having a bit of a struggle right now. We know who you are and we hug you. So So until I see you next time, rock on!